mean? Do you think you went to heaven? Did you see something?
I mean, I didn't, okay, it was almost like I floated up and I saw my body, almost like a movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, get me back into that body. I am not going anywhere other than in there. Like, go back down there, Shayne. And it was almost, I'm getting chills because it's almost like I had to fight so hard to get back in my body. And when they say, like, don't give up, they're not kidding. Like, you have to, with every ounce of your being, you have to fight to come back into your body, because I was going.
My baby. Where's my baby? Where's my baby? Doctor, my baby. I want my baby. My baby. What happened to my baby?
Everything is going to be all right.
My baby, doctor, my baby.
Please lie down. Easy.
My baby. My baby. I want my baby. My
You can
baby.
have many babies.
My baby.
Everything is
My baby.
okay.
I don't want another baby. I want my baby. Oh, I want my baby. I want my baby. My baby.
Works in this company that she, like, sold her eggs or whatever.
Oh, she sold her eggs.
Yes, and so they had hid that for a long time. But he ends up marrying her. She's my age.
But she doesn't have any children that
Never
she's raising.
had children, doesn't want children.
Okay.
But had always wanted to carry, to be pregnant.
Okay.
So when I happened to find out that I was in the hospital in a coma, okay, and then when I come to, my dad's there and Shauna's there, right? 'Cause they're married. And Shauna, I remember saying, I'll be your surrogate. And I remember laughing at her like, how funny would that be? My dad's wife carrying my kid. Yeah, okay, Shauna, I'll really take you up on that. And plus, at that time, I didn't realize that my doctor had kept my
your eggs.
my embryos.
Yes,
or my
your eggs.
uteruses.
Yes.
Or whatever.
The fallopian tubes so that you
thingies
could make the eggs.
What are they called? Ovaries?
Yes.
Okay.
Kept your ovaries.
So the doctor who saved my life and cut my son out of my body parts, he was like inside my bladder,
Yeah,
one
it's like a
hand into
freak
my
thing.
bladder.
Wow.
Freak thing. Should have been dead. Done. But I fought and I came back alive because I had a daughter.
Yes.
And so the doctor that saved my life, he was like rushed in from Newport Beach because they didn't know what to do. Here my son is thriving in my belly, but attached to all my body parts, okay?
Wow.
Like one hand, that's how I fainted, because one hand, he grew so big, it popped the placenta. So I
Wow.
started to internally bleed. So dying, and I'm just like, Nick, call 911. And that's all I really remember. And so thank God he did. And the ER doctor was like, this woman's dying on my table. I was losing blood. Then there's baby. She didn't know even where to begin, what to do. There was no time. So she actually made a lifeline and called a doctor in the middle of the night who cuts cancer out of cancer patients out of, their little body parts. Like, so they don't, because like his little hand that was cut out of my bladder, it's like he did it so I can actually live a normal life and don't have to have a pee bag. You know what I mean? Like, he was a lifesaver, but like I was so blessed to have that person even come to my aid, not knowing who I was. He was about to go to Hawaii with his family. Like, it's a miracle of a story.
Do you remember his name?
Dr. Oh my gosh. No, but he's Dr. Brown, I want to say. He's in Newport Beach, and he's like,
a saint.
You can't get into this guy because he is, right? And he's not an ER doctor. She called a lifeline. The ER doctor, she called,
so you owe her too.
Yes, like she's like, this woman, I was 31 at the time, maybe 30. Yeah, young. She's a mom. And so he comes in, they're feeling she's young, she's healthy, she's a mom. right away, you know, unfortunately, my son,
Yeah.
because he, you know,
There's no
he
way.
made that choice, by
Yeah.
the way. My husband was not, there was no time to go ask Nick, would you like me to save your son or your wife? You know, Nick was just being told what was going on.
Yeah.
So he would come out in full blood and be like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, you've lost your son. And at the time, we didn't know what we were having. So we're just trying to save your wife. So long story short.
Horrifically traumatic for both of you guys,
Very.
obviously. Yeah.
Absolutely. And he's calling my family to come down because they're telling him I'm not going to make it because I was dying and
Yeah.
dying and dying. I mean, I had to be brought back to life so many times because he's trying to, like, you know, get me all removed, but I'm losing blood and they're pumping me with blood and I'm just going in and out. I mean, it was like an absolute miracle. And we can sit here for an hour about what happened with me and all that, where I went. But long story.
What do you mean? Do you think you went to heaven? Did you see something?
I mean, I didn't. Okay, it was almost like I floated up and I saw my body, almost like a movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, get me back into that body. I am not going anywhere other than in there. Like, go back down there, Shayne. And it was almost, I'm getting chills because it's almost like I had to fight so hard to get back in my body. And when they say, like, don't give up, they're not kidding. Like, you have to, with every ounce of your being, you have to fight to come back into your body because I was going. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And if I was maybe if Press wasn't around and I was just in a bad state in my life, I mean, I could just see how easily it is to just slip
Give up.
and go. I mean, it's there for you, but you have to literally, it was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, and it's just a memory. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Because I remember it was like physically you had to go through. Anyways, we'll get into that next juicy scoop.
But, okay, so this, you know, very sad thing happened.
Very sad thing happened, you know, and I was told I had a hysterectomy. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. We just thought it was over, you know what I mean? But I was just lucky to have Press. I had her little pink boot by my side in the bed. And I looked at the doctor and said, how do I get home? He's like, you have to be off of every one of these machines, pumping all these different drugs. And I'm like, take them away, take them away. So, like, I would sit there in so much pain because I just wanted to be out with my little baby girl. And that, you know what I mean? And when they even give you pain meds, when they let you go, I wanted nothing to do with it. I just wanted to go back to being normal and a mom and focus on that. And so, cut to, I go and say thank you to Dr. Brown in his office like 7 months later. He hands me a card for a fertility person, and it's Dr. Smotrich, and he goes, you should call him and have him check out your ovaries and your eggs. I'm sure they're fine. I'm like, what? Wait, I still have my ovaries?
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah. He's like, wow, you know, I must have not written it down that I kept your ovaries in because it was just such a chaotic night. I guess nobody told you. I'm like, nobody told me that I actually could have children. No. And he's like, give them a call. So we did, and I pulled my ovaries out, and they checked them, and they were. So then I was like, driving one day, I was like, maybe I should text Shauna. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, why not? She offered. So
And you guys got along? You were friendly?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
She was my dad's wife. Like,
yeah.
At this point, you know, it's just like you just get yeah.
Yeah. So she agrees.
And so she's like, absolutely, this is my dream come true. I want to carry, da-da-da-da. One shot wonder. Lion went in. It took one time, like, because I was saying, I'm not going to drag myself or my family through this. We're doing it once. That's it. You know, I'm not.
So how many embryos did you put in?
One.
Just one.
Just
wow.
Lion. Yeah, just one. I actually wanted a girl, but but we still have like 15. Okay.
Okay. So now.
Well, not anymore. But so now we have Lion. And so then my mom passes away. And there was that, because it was just shocking and